Why don't I do me a favor? Why don't can you guys come?
Yeah, can you just go through how you
Yeah, I'll go through it. Come. All right. So what I'm gonna do for you guys is this. I'm gonna go through the whole thing. The last time, I think last time I skipped you guys. Yeah. So what I'm gonna do with you guys is this. And someone's gonna film the whole thing. I'm gonna go run throughout the whole chat for you guys. Okay? Can I sit down, sweetie? Okay. So what I want you to know, only down here. Okay. Okay. The first thing is this. We're gonna begin with the back. Or let's do with the front. Okay. The front is easier. Okay. And we'll just go from the back. Yeah. Okay, so first thing is this. We have to trim this muscle, but this should be the Xiphi humerus. Xiphi humerus. We move up to the pectoralis minor. We move up to the major, pectoralis major, and we move up to the pectoral antebrachialis. Okay? Now the next thing is this. Once you have that, we move up to what is known as, let me just remove the skin. Okay, so now when we're done with the pectoral antebrachialis, we move on to the muscle above that. This would be known as the clavodeltoid. Can you guys see from the back? Clavodeltoid. This is the clavodeltoid. So the way you count is this. Xiphi humerus, pectoralis minor, pectoralis major, and this is going to be the pectoral antebrachialis, and the top would be the clavodeltoid. Alright, so the way I do it, if I were you, is go from bottom up. Alright, now on the opposite side, you have what is known as the acromiodeltoid. Right here. So you go down. C-A-S. Clavodeltoid, acromiodeltoid, and spinodeltoid. Okay? Now we move into the trapezius. Question? No, right? Sanjo, you gotta come in, sweetie. Just climb on there. Climb on there. If you're not afraid of falling, then just climb on there. Okay. Let's go back again, because I skipped you. Can you see, sweetie? Climb on there if you have to. Louise, are you okay, right? Okay. Alright, let's do it again. This would be what is known as what? Xiphi humerus, pectoralis minor, major, pectoral antebrachialis. Give me 1 minute. Christine, don't clean up. I'll come to your group next, alright? Okay, so once again, Xiphi humerus, pectoralis minor, major, pectoral antebrachialis, and clavodeltoid from the front view. In the back view, you have clavodeltoid, acromiodeltoid, spinodeltoid. Okay? Now let's move down to the trapezius. I like to begin from the bottom up because I find this more obvious. In this case, they dissect from this side. Okay, so I'm gonna move it to this side. It looks like an upside down pyramid. Alright, so you have one on this side and one on this side. Does that make sense? This is called spinal trapezius, acromiotrapezius, and clavotrapezius. Alright, are we good?
Yes.
Okay. Now on this side, this is called the latissimus dorsi. It gives you the lats, the wings. Alright. Now what we're gonna do is this. We're gonna go into the back muscles. Okay. So what we do is this, is that inside you have what's called a subscapularis. If you recall in lecture last night, I said the shoulder is a multi-axial joint. Yes or no? It is very mobile. Therefore, it's very weak in comparison to the hip joints. Because it's very weak, you need to have the rotator cuff muscles to stabilize the joint. The subscapularis is one of the 4 rotator cuff muscles. Alright? The next thing is this. These are the rhomboids. Okay, when you wake up and you retract your scapula and do this, oh god, that feels so good. These are the one that you're using to pull the scapula back. Alright? Now what happens next is this. So these are the rhomboids. Now there is a muscle that goes all the way up to the head. This is called a rhomboid capitis. Alright? Okay, so now we're going to go down. Okay, so now this is going to be what's called supraspinatus. So Sanjo, look at this. This is the scapula. Above this is supraspinatus. Below this is infraspinatus. Does that make sense? Okay. Okay. Now what's going to happen next is this. Above, supra, below this is the infra. Feel this. That's the spine of the scapula. Can you hear it? Yeah, I'm banging on the bone right here. Okay. Now what we do is this. We want to find. So we found 3 muscles of the rotator cuff. You have the supra, the infra, and the subscapularis. We're missing one more, right? Because there are 4 muscles for the rotator cuff. So what we're going to do is this. I'm going to skip that and I'll go back to it. I want to show you where the teres major is at. This is the teres major right here. See that? This whole thing right here is the teres major. If you have a major, you gotta have a minor, right? So the teres minor is going to be deep to the spinal deltoid. So you might want to make a note on that. So the teres minor is going to be, make a note on that. The teres minor will be deep to the spinal deltoid. So what I'm gonna do is this. I'm gonna bisect this. When I bisect this, I want to see the muscle underneath that.
Where should I put this?
Do you see this muscle right here? Right here. See that muscle? Right here. See this muscle? That is the teres minor. Okay. Teres minor is deep to the spinal deltoid. All right. Okay. Now let's move on. For the arm. Okay. Actually, let me move in here. Okay. What you find is this. What muscle is this? Subscapularis. Okay. If you look at the serratus ventralis, if you notice on your handout, it says serratus anterior, right? I got it from the internet. That's an incorrect answer. It should be serratus ventralis. On the handout, it says serratus ventralis, but on the supplement image, it says serratus anterior. It should be serratus ventralis. So these are the fan-shaped muscles. It's like a fan, right? It comes out. Now what you want to see is this, scalenes. There are 3 muscles. Scalenus means what? 1. Scalenes means many. The way it's arranged is this. You have 1, 2, and 3. It looks like an arrow. 1, 2, and 3. Okay? Now what you want to do is this. When you look at the cat, this is the middle one. See this? That's the middle one. Right here. See this? Now the top is this one right here. See that one? That's coming out? Yes? And then the back would be this one right here. The back is this one right here. See that? Okay. See that? What was that? No. Okay. So you have 3, right? 1, 2, 3. Okay. So these are the scalenes, right? Anterior, middle, and posterior. Okay. So we're done with that. Now, well, what else do we need? You guys know your arms well, right? Let's do the arms, right? Let's do the arms really quick. When you look at the arms, we have the biceps, right? Our biceps is somewhat obvious. Yeah. All right, so for the biceps, what we do is this. For the cat, we gotta remove this muscle. There is one muscle in the cat that we don't have. This is the muscle. I mean, there's more than one. But this muscle is called epitrochlearis. You lift this back, and you can see the biceps brachii. All right, that's the biceps brachii. Now, what happened is this. Now we move on to the triceps. The triceps have 3 heads. So the first one you have would be 1. This is the first one that you see. This one. This is the long head. On this one, it's called a lateral head. That makes sense, right? It's on the side. And deep to it, you have the medial head. Deep to it. Okay. So you have 3 heads, Karen. Lateral head, medial head, long head. Okay. So long, lateral, medial. Okay. Good. Now we're done with this. Let's go down to the thigh. Do you guys do this side or this side?
This side.
This side, okay. Now let's go to the thigh first. I want to do the sartorius and gracilis. Okay. So I'm going to begin with the sartorius. I lift this back and I see the quads. So the quads means you have 4 muscles. 1, 2, 3, and D2 is 4. Okay, let's begin. Vastus lateralis, vastus medialis, rectus femoris is in the middle. All right. Now I lift this up and I can find what would be known as vastus intermedius. And look, check this out. You can actually hear the bone. Can you hear the bone? Yeah. So this is how it's arranged. You have the bone. This is my femur. You have the vastus intermedius. You have the rectus femoris, and on the side you have the vastus medialis and vastus lateralis. Okay? Yes? Okay. Yes? Once again. Femur. Vastus intermedius. Rectus femoris. So this is the layers, right? And the vastus medialis, vastus lateralis. Okay, on the sides. The two sides. Okay? Now we move, so we're done with the quads. Now if you notice that on this side, I want you to do is look at what I'm doing. Okay? Now I'm abducting. Abduct my thigh means it's moving away from the midpoint. Okay? So what you have is this. This muscle is called. There is a distinction between the muscle and the fascia. If you notice the muscle is brownish, the fascia is transparent. See the fascia? It's very transparent. The muscle is brown. It's not transparent. Okay? So this muscle is called tensor fascia lata. Okay? This is a muscle. All right? The fascia lata is the transparent membrane. However, they use a different name in the workforce. They call this the ilium tibial band. So they call it the IT band. It's the same thing. So what happens is this muscle is deep to the IT band. So when it contracts, it pulls the IT band, which pulls my thigh out. Does that make sense? Okay, good. Now we move on to the next one, gracilis. Okay. When I find the gracilis, the first thing I do is this: I look for the adductor longus. Is this one? How do I know that's the adductor longus? It's because it goes at an angle. It's more diagonal. Okay, and it's very long in comparison to the adductor femoris. In human, the adductor femoris is called adductor magnus. Compare this to that. Let me show you the difference between this and that. Okay, do you see this muscle? And do you see this muscle right here? The one I'm pointing to. Okay, this is wide. This is narrow. But it's very long. Therefore, you call it adductor longus. Can you see, Karen? This is wide, so therefore you call it adductor magnus in human, but adductor femoris in cat. Different names, same thing. Okay. To me, it makes more sense when you use the word magnus because it's magnum, grandiose. In this case, they use the word femoris. Okay. Now you move down to this thing called semimembranosus. There are 3 muscles in the hamstring. Semimembranosus is one of the 3. Semitendinosus is the second of the 3. Biceps femoris is the third of the 3. The way you do it is this. If I were you, what I would do is this. I would put this down. Semimembranosus can only be seen from the medial side. Membranosus, M. Medial, M. All right? Membrane is wide. Okay? Tendinosus, semitendinosus can be viewed from the medial side and the lateral side. If you distinguish between membranosus and tendinosus, membranosus is wide, tendinosus is narrow, but it's more bulky in one piece. Like it's like a bigger piece. See this? It's like a chunk. Okay? Now you go to the back, the outside part. This is called biceps femoris. Of the 3, this is by far the biggest one of the 3. Okay? So we're done with this, right? Now we're going to move down to the tibia. Okay, there is a muscle that is called the tibialis anterior. This is the tibialis anterior. Okay, you see this?
What's this one?
This is a part of the gastrocnemius, the calf muscles. Yeah. Okay, so this is a part of the gastrocnemius.
Okay.
This is known as the tibialis anterior. Okay. Christine, I'm coming to your group soon, Christine, so just wait for me.
Oh, cat is all.
Oh, book. Okay, that's fine. That's fine. This is called tibialis anterior. This is the tibia. Right? So you know on the human, the tibialis anterior is more lateral to the side. right here. Okay. Now we move down to the next thing. Is that? Can you put this up for me? Yeah. Now we moved on to the side. The way I like to do things when I do muscles is that I want to see the border, the front and the back border. Okay. In the front, I find what's called the tibialis anterior. In the back, I find what's called the gastrocnemius. Gastrocnemius is the calf muscles. However, you have what's called the soleus. It's also a calf muscle as well. Do me a favor. Can you give me the soleus on the model? The leg model? Yeah. It's underneath the torso. Yeah. Go down, Meredith. All the way down, yeah. And there should be a little thing that comes with that, right? There should, yeah, that one, but there's some tiny, yeah, that one, yes. Thank you very much. Okay, so this is how it goes. What is it? Yeah. All right, when you look at the muscles, this is called a gastrocnemius. This whole thing is called a gastrocnemius, right? Now, underneath the gastrocnemius, you have what's called a soleus. See this? On the side view, this is the soleus. On the lateral view, this is the soleus right here. Okay? So the way it's arranged is this. This is my gastrocnemius in the back. The soleus is deep to the gastrocnemius. Okay, so it's deep to it. You can see it from both sides. However, in the cat, the soleus can only be seen from the outside, the lateral side. This is the gastrocnemius. This is the soleus. All right? Now, the next thing we want to know is this. Go to the lateral side. Okay. So you have on the lateral side, this would be known as the extensor digitorum. I want you to do this. All right. Touch your lateral side, the lateral side of the leg, and as you extend your digits, extend your digits, your toes. Can you feel the bulkiness of it?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So the extensor digitorum longus can be seen on the lateral side. So the way I do it is this. I tell you how it's arranged. Tibialis anterior, extensor digitorum longus, and you're going to have the soleus and gastrocnemius. T, tibialis anterior. E, extensor digitorum. This is going to be S, soleus. G, gastrocnemius. T, E, S, G. Does that make sense? Okay. Now, on the inside, you begin with the tibia. That's the T, right? You move on to what's called a flexor digitorum. When you flex your digits, you can feel this to be bulky. However, this is the point that's different from human versus cat. Can I see on the medial side? If you notice in human, this is called a plantaris, right here. See this? Meredith, come over, sweetie. This is called a plantaris in human. Come, sweetie. Turn around and I'll show it to her. Plantaris right here. Okay. That's the run sound. Just turn around and I'll show it here. This is a plantaris. You guys saw it, right?
The gray.
Yeah. So what happens is, when you see the gray, it's a tendon. The big part, the middle part, is a muscle. It's the body of the muscle. So this is the plantaris. It's very thin. It runs all the way down.
So the tendon is the plantaris?
No, every muscle has two ends. The tendon will be the ends. The body is in the middle.
Oh, okay.
When it goes towards the bone, that's the tendon. Okay? So what I want you to know in this case is this. The plantaris in the cat can be seen from the medial side. This is the plantaris right here. Well, I can't do much. Okay? And this is going to be the flexor digitorum. So do this. Tibia, T. F, flexor digitorum. P, plantaris. G, gastrocnemius. T, tibia. Repeat with me. T, tibia. F, flexor digitorum longus. P, plantaris. G, gastrocnemius. All right? So basically you have tibia, flexor digitorum, plantaris, gastrocnemius. We're done with that. Okay?
Do we even know where the tibial nerve is at?
No. Okay. Now what we do is this. The sciatic nerve will break down into two, right? I think she left. you what I said. Okay, so when you look at this thing right here, you guys did a great job.
Nerve will break into
Cauda femoralis is this one. This is going to be the gluteus maximus, and the gluteus medius by far is the biggest one. Okay, so you go from top down. So this, of the three, the gluteus medius is more cephalic. You can't use the word superior nor anterior, right? You gotta use the word cephalic, means it's going towards the head of the three. Of the three, the cauda femoralis goes towards the tail, so it's most caudal. Cauda femoralis, right? Does that make sense? The gluteus maximus by far in the cat is smaller than the gluteus medius, but in human it's the reverse. Okay?
Minor and major.
Yeah, exactly. Does that make sense? Okay. What else do you guys want to know? The lats, right? So we're done.
What about the iliotibial nerve?
No.
No.
Was it on the handout?
Yeah, it was.
It was on
a
the
tibial nerve.
board. You wrote it down on the board too.
Yesterday.
I
You're
did.
talking about the IT band.
IT band. I put an IT band.
Doctor, they do you know the forearm pretty well?
Right.
The forearm exam?
I said no.
Oh, see, okay.
Okay, here we go.